In this video, we're going to show you how to set up a basic shell course in Moodle to start putting your information in. So when you first log into Moodle, in fact, let me log back out here so we can see this again. Again, you log in with your network username and password. When you log in, if you have any courses, they'll be shown here in the middle typically. I have a couple courses, so they're already shown in here. We're going to add a new course though. And you would think it'd be under My Courses, but it's not. We have to go down here to Site Administration. So if you can't see it on your screen, you may need to scroll down till the point where you see Site Administration. And it's hidden inside this Site Administration. Under Courses, you'll see a thing that says Add Edit Courses. So we're going to click on Add Edit Courses. Now it's showing us all the course categories in the breakout. Basically it's broken out by year first, and then we have buildings, and then under each building we have categories for each class to go under. So I'm going to go down to West Caldwell and under Math, and I'm going to create a new math class in here for a geometry class. Right now there's one class that I have in here. You'll notice that there's this button that says Add a New Course because I have permission to add new courses. Okay. One thing to check again, the category up here at the top, this kind of gives the hierarchy of it. The 2011-2012 classes, West Caldwell is the building, Math is the department. Now the full name, we need to name all the courses in a similar fashion to make it easier for everybody to find it. So under the full name,
in order not to create chaos with all the courses that go into Moodle, there is a course full name and a course short name. Those are the only two requirements of every single course.
Okay.
Am I correct, Drew?
Yeah, I think that's in order. If you look down here, that's a good point. Anything that's marked with a asterisk and is in red is what's required. And if I look down through here, those are the only two things that are marked in an asterisk in red. Good to mention here while we're here, the little question marks.
Yes, because in order to make your life easier and not to drive us crazy while we're instructing, and also with your students to teach them how to use Moodle more effectively, you'll notice that there's a question mark with almost every category. And when you click on it, you get a pop-up box and it gives you a short descriptive explanation of every.
Yep, so that'll basically tell you what's in there. And the short name is one of those things that's displayed in the navigation area, whereas the full name is displayed at the top of each page at the very top. So how do we name the full course again?
Okay, so the course naming convention that we established at the very beginning of the Moodle course is School, which we use West Caldwell, WC, Bloomfield Tech, BT, / the instructor's last name, / or hyphen, the course name.
Okay,
And being this is a full name course, you can be as descriptive as possible without writing a book. The course short name is, once again, the school, hyphen, the two initials of the instructor, hyphen, and the course name.
Now, one important thing on this short name here is if I was teaching multiple geometry classes and I wanted them set up as separate courses, I need to make sure that the short name is unique. And that's part of the reason why we put our initials in there and the school, so that I can have an algebra course named Algebra 1, and so can another teacher at another school can have it named Algebra 1, as long as that first part of the name is unique.
Or, for example, in my courses, there could be Web Design 1, Web Design 3, and you're actually differentiating each course.
Right. Now, as far as what we need to fill in, as we said, that's the minimum that has to be filled in. You can put a course summary here, and this will help direct people to your course. Down here, we'll talk about how to control access to your class, but right now guest access is set to no, and there's set for no password. That comes in a setting later. The default, when we first create it, we actually can't change this yet. It's set under the users and permissions now once we're inside the course. This used to be something we could set here. In Moodle 2, it's moved to a new location. And then that's all we need to do.
Could we go up to the top for a second, Drew?
Yep, sure.
And one of the things that you want to set when you're creating a new course, if you can move down a little bit, is how are you going to stretch your course out? Is it a 9-week course, exploratory course for a freshman? Is it a full 36-week course that lasts all year? You might want to set that, or you might want to break up your course into units. So that all depends on the preference of each teacher.
Right, yeah. Oh, you're talking about topics versus a weekly format?
No, I'm talking more about the numbers. How many topics or weeks we're going to be used.
Oh, okay.
Topics format is usually what we've set it, right,
Yeah,
Drew?
we've always used the topics format, and you'll notice here it says number of weeks or topics. That's how many different sections you want to have for your class, and typically we think of those, or at least I think of them, as units, and that's an easy way to break up your course. There is a couple other formats which I don't quite recommend. If you want to look into them further, you can click on here, and it'll kind of tell you a little bit more about the other formats. In general, topics format is the easiest one to use and the good one to start with. Okay, let's go ahead and save changes. And you'll notice here that the class is created. I'm going to go into this class. Since we've just created it, we might as well check and make sure what's going on here as far as how students are going to be able to get into this class. And I'm just going to look real quick here under Users. And it's under enrollment methods. This is the new way that students get into our classes. And right now, only manual enrollments are turned on. Guest access is turned off, and self-enrollment is turned off. Self-enrollment is what we thought of before in the past, where we give an enrollment key to students. Guest access is if you want to allow somebody guest access to your course. And the way that you turn these on is with the little eyeball here. And if you click on the little eyeball, that will turn on guest access and somebody can come in. If you click the little eyeball again, guest access will be turned off. Typically what we've done is turned on self-enrollment, and we can come in here. I click on the little hand to edit it, and I'm going to put in a key, and this is going to be the key that I give to my kids to log in. I suggest picking something easy that's not difficult for anybody to spell, so you avoid typing errors, and just keep it in all lowercase. I try to pick a math term when I'm doing a math term, and you can see here if I forget it, I can come back in here and click Unmask, and I can see the key. If I click it again, it hides it. And there's some other options in here, but as a minimum, this is what I want to put here, is to the enrollment key. One of the things that came out was when everybody enrolled in courses, those welcome messages. This is a place where I can customize that welcome message and replace it with something else that I want. A kid gets enrolled, a student gets enrolled. I can welcome them to the class with a custom message there. That's it for creating a class. I now have my class created.
And one thing before we leave, if you'll notice that once you come into a new class, your editing features are turned on automatically by default. If you look in the right-hand corner, there's a little bar there that says Turn Editing Off. Turning editing off just basically brings the course back to what it should look like when it's being used normally.
Right, and then I can turn it back on, and that brings me into where I can add resources and activities, and we'll talk about those a little bit later.